Hello friends, welcome to the last session of our series on the Tangle pattern Divadance. I couldn't have finished our sessions on Divadance without doing a tile which combines the pattern Divadance with the pattern Selena, right? So today in our last session we'll be drawing a tile which combines the pattern Divadance and Selena, and let's see how does the tile turn out to be, right? So in front of me is a Zentangle round tile, and I'm going to start in the center with the pattern Divadance. So drawing the rock and roll version, right? So started off with the rock and roll version. Introduced a stem and a poke leaf in between, continuing, right, again inking, right, auraing, right, again continuing to aura, introducing these stems in between, poke leaves, again continuing to aura, right, continuing to aura, right. So I'm doing nothing, just introducing these stems from in between, drawing my regular Divadance rock and roll with a slight enhancement, introducing these stems here and there from which my poke leaves are coming out, and continuing to aura in the same fashion, right, right. So again continuing, to aura, adding few stems here and there, continuing my Divadance, rock and roll. Right, so there's so many variations that you can create with the same patterns. So every pattern added to your kitty, as I said previously, opens up a whole lot of possibilities, right? So continuing to aura again. Right, so it is up to you. Where do you want to stop? You want to just go on and on? Right, so again auras, humps, the same exercise. By now I think you must have got a hold of how to draw the pattern, right? So this is how the pattern Divadance, with a slight variation wherein I introduced some poke leaves coming out from in between while drawing the pattern. Right? Continuing the same exercise of adding auras. Right. So now I'm going to add one or two more layers, I think, and then start with my pattern Sena. Right. Yeah. So now let us start with our pattern Sena and see how Sena and the pattern Divadance look together. So I'm starting with a big S kind of shape and a C shape here probably. Right? We have already learned these patterns. So let us start right away. So Sena is also a pattern involving pure line work. Right. So I've added a hump here. If you wish, you can fill it up. If you wish, you can add some orbs. Let's see how we are going to do as we proceed further. So adding some weight here and there, right? So already introduced a hump. Here I am going to draw some bronze cheers. Right? And then continue the process of adding auras along with humps. Again, you can either ink it or add some bronze cheers. Right. Again, inking, creating a hump. Again, auras. Right? So just continue with this exercise of adding humps here and there, and then adding an aura. Again, probably some bronze cheers, or if you want to ink it, you can ink it. Again, auras. Right? So I'm going to continue this exercise just the way I am doing. Right. Right? Just go and on like this. So I am continuing to draw the Senna in the same fashion, just pure line work. Inserting humps here and there and filling it in with sometimes inking it and sometimes adding bronze cheer. Right? So doing the same exercise of adding lines and lines. Adding some weight here and there, some bolding portions and humps. Basically integrating the Senna with the pattern Divadance, using a mix of both the patterns. right? So you can see how beautiful the pattern Sena looks when combined with the pattern Divadance, right? So going to continue with the exercise of adding auras. Now from this side, using my C shape, again doing the same exercise, adding close auras. And humps, right? Going back to the humps, adding some orbs just like bronze cheers. Inking it at certain places. Right? So I'm going to continue this exercise. So continuing with the same exercise, working on my C shape right now, adding auras. You can see how the Sena is turning out to be, right? Pure line work and nothing else. Just adding these humps while drawing the aura lines to introduce the pattern Divadance in between, right? So again going in the opposite direction. Right? These lines and aura, introducing those humps in between randomly. Right, continuing to aura. Right. So it's pure line work. You can see how the tile is turning out to be. I am doing nothing except drawing lines, adding aura to the C and the S shapes that we started with, right? Just auraing and doing nothing else. And see the beauty of line work. That's Zentangle. At least I never knew that lines could look so beautiful before I was introduced to Zentangle. Right? So I'm going to continue this exercise, continue this line. Right? So you can see I've almost completed auraing my C also. Now I'm going to add some fun here. add some random auras and close it with poke leaves, because I have added some poke leaves in between, right? So adding some random shapes here and there. Yeah. Going to add one more layer of aura here and an aura here and few auras here. Just added some printum kind of shape, right? Adding some auras again. And then probably close it with some poke leaves which I have drawn in the middle. Right? So let me extend these poke leaves. Just randomly. Right. Right, that's about it. Leave a little space empty. I think that would look nice. Add a few tipples here and there. Always comes handy while filling spaces. Right. The small little spaces, I am just inking it. Adding a few big tipples here and there. Small little spaces, just inking them. Right. I think that's about it. Yeah. So in the spaces, tiny ones here and there. So that's how the tile turns out to be. Now we are going to shade our tile. So I'm going to highlight the center and try and separate the the rock and roll that I drew in the center. Although the auras are intermingling with each other, so may not be very discreet, but we can try and separate it from the rest of the tile, right? So and then some on the poke roots, poke leaves. As far as the senna is concerned, adding on both sides, right? We shall see how and where we have to add graphite. So blending the center portion where we drew the rock and roll, trying to kind of separate it from the rest if possible, although it's all line work. Just a touch on the stems, the heads. Right, and then the senna, places from where lines are emanating, lines are merging. Right. Again, probably the ends. Right, and then the ends, the edges. There's so many layers and curls, I'm not getting into shading them. Could be, I think, confusing. Right, so just blending the ends. Right, if you wish, you can give a touch on the repeating folds, but there are so many. Yeah, think that's about it. So our tile with Sena and Divadance is ready. So both are line based patterns, and they, when combined together, look really beautiful. So I thought of drawing a tile combining the two patterns. Right? So this is how our finished tile looks. I'm now going to initial my tile. Right? And sign and date it. So this was our series on the pattern Divadance. If you have any questions, queries, do post on my Facebook page, get in touch. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye. See you again.